What is going on, everybody? It is Cornmission here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the Starcard loadout I have been using for the majority of, my Battlefront experience. I've been using this probably for like well over a year, maybe even two. I don't actually remember when I actually kind of decided this is going to be the loadout I'd use for my Assault class, obviously, because it is my main class. And if you've watched my previous videos, every time I'm with the Assault class, you've probably seen these Starcards used. Let's just get into it, because I kind of want to, tell people why I use my star card, and if you're interested in trying it out. The star cards aren't like combined to make it like a type of, play style, so it's not really an aggressive play style. It's just like star cards I find the best when I use them. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think of, my star card loadout, and if you have a star card loadout that you've been using for, a while, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what type of star card loadout you use or you prefer, but let's get into it. Now, starting off with star card number 1, and you can actually use this star card for every class, I know that for a fact. It is the Bounty Hunter star card, and this thing is really helpful because basically you can get battle points at an increased rate, and if you do upgrade it to like the purple tier, your battle points will increase by 20%. So this star card is actually extremely helpful if you want to try and get heroes, reinforcements, or anything that requires battle points, starfighters, all that. Basically, using the star card, you can get them, faster because you'll get an increased amount of battle points. I always like using this because, I always want to try and get the hero first because, you don't know when you get to play it again. So basically, having the star card increases your chances of obviously getting that hero, as you can get more battle points than a person who does not have the star card equipped. And the great thing about the star card is it's just not limited to the assault class. Yeah, so definitely recommend this if you are trying to get heroes or whatever faster. And yeah, basically, you'll get an increased amount of battle points. It's basically all there is to it. But moving on to my second star card, I have more to say about this. This is the improved thermal detonator, and I believe this replaces the scan dart, and I believe the scan dart is like a pretty useless ability in my opinion. Essentially, with the improved thermal detonator, the star card basically says that you get a larger blast radius and the recharge time has been decreased. And basically, the more you upgrade it, the larger the blast radius increases. The ideal time to use this is if you want to clear out a group of enemies. For examples, the time where I try to use it the most is in Supremacy. I just try throwing it at an objective where people are trying to cap it, so you can kind of disperse enemies, trying to get those, kills. That's probably not a ideal time to use it in Supremacy, just trying to stop, people from capping an objective, or, trying to clear out groups of enemies, basically. I also like to use it in Naboo a lot, like in the second and third phases, when you're in, like, those tight spaces, especially in the third phase, when, like, every enemy is trying to capture the final objective. That is really helpful, because the large groups of enemies just clustered up around in areas, and also, in the hallways during the second phase. I know if you're playing as a separatist, it is kind of annoying to try and get to the override switch because there's just groups of enemies trying to protect it. So this thing will definitely help you in dispersing enemies or killing them completely. Sometimes this thing has gotten me, a lot of kills, like sometimes if I'm lucky 3 to 4, maybe even more. Other times, for some reason, it just does a lot of damage to enemies. If this thermal detonator doesn't kill them, it'll probably do a lot of damage to them. That is also good. I mean, the kill would have been better, but if they are not eliminated from the grenade, then they'll probably fall back and wait to regen. So that's kind of an opportunity to strike with you and your team. Once their team is just waiting for the health to regen, you can probably push up and cap that objective, or push up on the battlefield. So yeah, I've always liked the improved thermal detonator just because, it can disperse large groups of enemies. Like I said, I've even gotten a few cool multi-kills with it. So yeah. Now moving on to the Toughen Up star card. Now honestly, I don't know how many people use this star card. It's kind of hard to tell who uses it or not. It's a defensive ability, and if you don't know what the Toughen Up star card is that if you basically activate it, and if you're watching my gameplay, you'll probably see me activate it a few times, it'll just regenerate your health. Now this thing to me is probably one of my more important star cards because it has gotten me out of, problems so many times. And if you do upgrade it, it just reduces the recharge time from 30 to 22. And the great thing about this star card is, like, when I notice that people have taken a large drop of health, if they have the chance, they'll probably like fall back, high bind a corridor, wait for the health to recharge. Great thing about this star card is that if you have taken a lot of damage and you are alive, if you just go hide in a corner for like 1 second, activate this ability, or even activate it while you're shooting at enemies, you'll get that health increase really fast, so you'll be able to fight. And while this ability is activated, if you take even like damage while the ability is active, you'll still regenerate. And this is just in a very good star card if you just want to like stay in the fight and you just like you want to keep pushing enemies and you don't want to let off the pressure, because if you are taking damage to a point where you like literally one shot, you probably only have two options: either hide in a corner, wait for your health to regenerate, or just get shot and be eliminated. But with the star card, you can just quickly use it, and then your health will be up. So that is actually very good if you are like in an intense 1v1 situation, for example, and the other enemy doesn't have the star card. If they're low on health and you're low on health and you can quickly activate this star card, then you're probably going to win that fight, because you can just finish them off while they're going to have to try and get your health back down again. So yeah, I've really liked the star card a lot, because when I've taken damage, I can keep the pressure on the enemies, like I said. So yeah, this thing, if you use it properly, will probably get you out of a lot of not ideal situations, I guess you could say. Now, for some reason, I've just gotten so used to using the star card. For some reason, I don't know if this is an effective strategy, but what I usually do is sometimes I would just use it before I actually engage in a battle. So yeah, I probably do not recommend you trying to use it before you actually engage in a battle, because if you're in a situation where you don't need it, sometimes me just activating it before entering a battle works out. For example, I'm taking a lot of damage, I already have the ability activated, so I can just keep the pressure on without even having to regenerate it, even though it's like tapping one button. But yeah, that's just some weird thing I've done. I don't know, I'm just used to it. But yeah, those are the 3 star cards I use. In terms of weaponry, if you're asking what weapon I use, if you watch my recent videos, I probably use the E11D. It feels like a nice blaster. I really enjoy the weapon. It is pretty good at mid-range, and even at close range, if you just hit your shots, I feel like it will do a lot of damage. But honestly, I'm not going to recommend you a weapon, because before the E11D even came out, I used the A2080 and the other 4th blaster, which I forgot the name of. I'm ashamed, but it's the one resistance blaster. So yeah, I don't really have a preferred weapon. I'm just using the E11D because it's the most recent weapon that came out, even though it's like a few months old now. But yeah, I prefer that. And then the Vanguard. I know there's a few different Vanguard star cards. Honestly, using the Vanguard without any star card is actually pretty good in my opinion. Just because I feel like it lasts for a good amount of time. Definitely does that damage. So I don't really have any need to put star card on the Vanguard. Maybe you would have to, but honestly, it's a player's preference. I prefer not using a star card for my Vanguard. I even forgot what the different types of Vanguard star cards there were. But yeah, I like the Vanguard for 2 reasons. One, it is an amazing close quarter weapon. If you're on close range and you hit those shots, sometimes I struggle hitting the shots and I usually die. If I miss like 2 Vanguard shots, then I'll probably die in the end. But yeah, if you hit your shots, it's an amazing close range weapon in my opinion. And the second reason I use it is that it increases your speed while running. So honestly, either half the time I'm using it to eliminate enemies closer range, or the other half is just me turning into Sonic and just speeding across the map. If I want to get to an objective faster, I want to get to a situation faster, I just pop that Vanguard out, use the sprint speed, and I might not even use the shotgun in general. I just might use it to sprint to some area and then stop. But those are the star cards that I use. Let me know if you guys think this is like a good star card setup. I've used it for like over a year. I'm probably never going to change it, but I'd like to hear what you guys think of this star card loadout. Do you think it's cool? Do you not think it's cool? And comment down below what star cards you like. This has been Core Ambition. Please like and consider subscribing. We're almost at 100 subscribers. But I'll see you all later. Peace out.